The anger for me has turned into more defiance about sorting it out.
Literally wanted to stab my partner in the kitchen. I would look at a knife and go, I could put this through your heart right now. And then 10 minutes later, I'd be in the car sobbing.
Yeah.
And I genuinely thought I was going mad.
13 million women in this country. We're all guessing.
A lot of the medical profession are guessing as well. So in our experience of going to the GP,
I had no conversations with anybody. Didn't really have that many women in our family. Didn't have one conversation with anyone.
I got given a leaflet about some permanent thing that you might not even be allowed to drive with. It was just ridiculous.
I went to a specialist male who said, are you sure this isn't in your head?
I think you're probably just quite stressed. You're too young to be going into the menopause.
Yeah.
I was 47.
My son one day sent me a text that almost broke me. He said, I just feel at the moment you're explosive and you're like a bomb.
Welcome to the Honesty Sessions. I've got my best friends around me to talk about the second chapter of life. I've had enough of not being able to navigate this on my own. This is affecting all of us. 1 billion women are going through this at the moment. The Honesty Sessions are about acknowledging how we feel, but also being a bit defiant. I want the Honesty Sessions to start with us. Let's put ourselves front and centre again. And I don't know about you, but I'm sort of slightly bored of talking about the menopause or perimenopause or the latest thing that's hurting or something like that. But it's one of those things where I thought, enough. Let's just get the girls in the room and let's have a good old chat, because I don't want to just focus on all the symptoms. I want to actually get solutions, because over the last few years, I've noticed that it's too overwhelming. Now, I'm going to start with something that was asked to me quite a while ago, and it really got me thinking. It was, we are now, some of us, you're now 50, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're now 50, aren't you? The rest of us. But I was asked about the person I was in my 30s.
Oh, remember her.
Yeah.
She was great.
You know what? What were you like in your 30s?
oh yeah, I felt like the 30s were the time of my life.
Yeah.
I had young children, and I just felt full of life, full of just energy, so much energy. Obviously, having young children is knackering, but it really was a just mega happy time for me.
Best decade?
I would say so. Looking back,
Yeah.
absolutely time of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got gorgeous body, you look great, partying, different boyfriends. Didn't even have particularly permanent boyfriend. Yeah, it was a great time.
Wow, I'm quite jealous.
Yeah.
Sounds better than mine.
That's like the character in Schitt's Creek where she take a million pictures of your boobies. The reason I ask all of this is we're now sort of 20, if we round up, 20 years on from that person. Don't look so sad, it's all fine.
20 plus 5.
And it's, how are you feeling now when you look at your 40s into your 50s? How has it changed mentally and physically for you? And what do you think about that?
Where to start?
Yeah, that's a can of worms.
I'll just dive in,
Yeah.
shall we? Major dichotomy. In some ways, stronger and wiser than I ever have. In other ways, 106 years old. It is so like, can I get to the kitchen?
Yeah.
Will my back hold up?
Yeah.
Pain becomes real,
Yeah.
or it did for me.
Yeah.
Even sitting in this chair. But a weird dichotomy, especially the further into my 50s. I feel stronger than I ever have. I just lifted this one.
Yeah.
Or just mentally, wisdom, all these things. But it's also my body giving me signals on certain days like, no.
Yeah.
So it's that,
Yeah.
sorry. It's that dance
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
The time's going too quickly.
Yeah.
For me, it's like
There is a
time's going
sense of
too
that,
quickly.
isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. That it
Slow
suddenly
down.
starts to, and I think I said this to you, I feel like my birthday comes around faster than everybody else.
Yeah.
Honestly, all these lot came to my
Seriously.
50th, right? And they were like miles away. I was like, wasn't I? I was like, you must have gone, God damn it, she's old. But it's like every year, bosh. And I'm like, what the hell is my birthday next week? I don't even want it. We're not mentioning it. Next month, we're not mentioning it. It's like, what the hell? But I do think that you know, if we sort of focus at the moment on our 40s, because I think that decade and all the stuff that has brought with it just has a lot of baggage, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it does,
And so,
it does.
you know, it is when you start to notice things, you know, happening. For me, and you've just mentioned it, it's the rage.
Mm-hmm.
It was the rage. It was the forgetting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about anyone else, but they were my early sort of
Yeah.
symptoms. I was.
Definitely.
I thought I was generally losing my mind.
Yeah.
Like, because I didn't really know about the perimenopause.
Yeah.
At that point, I didn't know that was a thing.
No, I
that
don't
was
think
not
it
any,
was
a
not
word that was being
wasn't a word.
used. Like
I agree
menopause,
with
that
that.
happens to much older ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
it's
was
quite
in
a
my
new
mid
word.
40s going, rage, like
Yeah.
literally want to stab my partner in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I mean, I would look at a knife and go, I could put this through your
Yeah.
heart right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
One more
And then
word.
10 minutes later, I'd be in the car sobbing.
Yeah. Yeah.
On my own.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was just off the scale.
Yeah.
And I genuinely thought I was going mad.
Yeah.
Proper red mist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
For me, the red mist was like labor. Like, no matter how much you describe it to people, I had heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But until you feel it, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why are not more women killing people?
Yeah.
Like,
No, but
it
you're right.
really-
It's like labour. It's like we all know it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't.
But you don't literally, excuse upon
Yeah.
labour the point, do you? Because, you know, to a woman who's having a first baby, it really hurts.
Yeah. You don't, like, you know.
You know, you said about the knife drawer. Honestly, I mean, but I had that moment where I walked past it and I thought to myself, and it was a genuine, I could go in this drawer and stab everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I was in a state of, you know, blissful ignorance. I mean, as I say, I'd never heard of perimenopause. Heard of menopause. Steve had said to me, and for those that know Steve, he's quite a sort of gentle soul to me, and I genuinely thought everyone was wrong. I was right, they were wrong. And he told me everyone was walking on eggshells around me. And it was my mum, when I told her, going, oh my God, you'll never guess what Steve just said, that mentioned the menopause to me.
My first symptoms were dizziness and kind of, someone said I had some kind of, like, I got given a leaflet about some permanent thing that you might not even be allowed to drive with. It was just ridiculous.
Really?
But then the doctor was like, oh, do you think maybe you could be stressed? You know, you've got small children at home and da-da-da. I mean, it went away, but I do sometimes, I can get a little bit, like just for a little bit, but my ears are definitely one of my
I get
weak
it.
points.
Quite.
Do you think
Yeah.
that's
I
what
get it,
hormone
like-
imbalance or?
It's an
what
inner
is
ear
it?
Yeah.
thing
Oh, it's like a
as
band-
well.
It was like
Yeah.
vertigo.
Yeah.
was- you
I mean,
felt
sometimes
sick.
you'll be. Do you
Yeah.
ever, like, when you're out, you know, if you're walking down the street and suddenly, literally feel like someone took the world and went, doof,
Yes.
and you're like,
And I used to get it particularly,
Yeah,
like it
it's
was
very
like hormone. I
bizarre.
couldn't notice that it was
Yeah.
hormonal.
Because
But
the
yes.
list of menopause symptoms are just
Yeah,
like as
it's
long
like
as your
95.
arm.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
anything.
And they
you
could be
anyone-
anything.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
could
happen to
be
anybody.
something very serious.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or-
But from a symptoms perspective
Yeah.
as well, I think initially I just noticed, physical changes, definitely achy hips, which I'm still suffering from actually.
Yeah.
That hasn't really got better.
Yeah.
I resonate with you completely, saying like you feel like 109 because it's just like, do I need hip replacements? Like, is this what it is? Like a premature hip replacement?
Yeah.
No, the hands were all right actually.
Oh.
Menopause
No.
thumb.
Menopause thumb.
Menopause thumb, yeah.
Seriously.
I get the
Yeah,
whole
that
time.
is-
Thumbs.
Yeah.
Mine are
You
really
have a
bad.
thumb?
Yeah.
Mine are really bad.
It was
yeah.
so bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you and I were talking when we went on our dog walk about unexpected symptoms. And what was yours? I remember.
Tinnitus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I had a brain
I've
tumour.
got-
Yeah.
Like, I literally, because, you know, the anxiety's bad anyway.
Yeah.
So you go down this rabbit hole of going,
Yeah.
why am I hearing ringing in my ears?
Yeah.
That's a sign I've got a brain tumour.
Yeah.
Like, went completely off on one until I actually saw something online and it was a male doctor talking about tinnitus in
Yeah.
menopause. I was like, another
Yeah.
random
Another
symptom,
thing.
like
Yeah.
you're saying,
It
so many
is so
random
random.
symptoms.
Yeah.
And
I
just
think
like,
itchiness as well.
Mine was itchy ears.
Yeah, itchy ears.
Itchy
I've not had
ears.
that.
I was like that. Looked like I'd got really
Really?
dirty ears. I was like, all, and it still happens a lot, but like not just a little bit, like almost drilling into your. You know.
Okay, I have a weird one.
What's
Sorry,
that?
I don't know if anyone's.
I bet you have got a weirder one.
Okay. It feels like your nerve ending in a various place will just shock you.
Yeah.
Like out of nowhere,
Yeah.
you'll be watching television, all of a sudden you'll be like, ow!
Yeah.
And my husband would look at me like, are you insane?
Yeah, frozen shoulder and having the nerve problems with your shoulders
okay.
is. I went to a physio about it, and they was telling me that it is a hormonal change thing, that your nerves are jangling or whatever they're doing.
I find myself much more frightened easily and jumpier. Like when
Yes,
she just did the clap board, you're
yeah.
right. I was actually okay with that because
yeah.
I could see she was about to do it, but I get very which are stupid stories, but I've got this umbrella, and every time I put it up, it doesn't quite click. So like 2 seconds later, it goes, and it just goes, and I literally like jump out of my skin, and I'm like, Rachel, this is ridiculous. It's a fucking umbrella with a little metal clip.
Yeah. It's totally that thing that like
every time,
tiny little things that used to be like water up a duck's back would send me into a complete tailspin. Like I couldn't cope with the smallest little things going wrong or being challenging. Like it just is
being
Noise
noisy.
for you.
You
were saying.
Noise.
Yeah.
So,
I remember that the whole the noise thing at Christmas. That's where it first started. You know, like 'cause it's noisy anyway, isn't it? But you know, the Christmas music's playing, and you know, everyone's coming in. The dog's going nuts. But I remember feeling really overwhelmed with the noise, and saying to Steve's daughter Sophie, saying, "Is this me? Is it noisy? It's like, you know, like we all go at the minute. Is it me? Is it hot in here?" I was going, "Is it me? Is it noisy in here? Is it noisy?" Because I couldn't.
I had a client the other day that came, and I give facials. One of my job is a facialist, and she, in the middle of the facial, and I had music going, and I thought pretty zen, and she's all under the covers, and in the middle of the facial, she just kicks off all the covers, like, but quite violently, just so they're all on the floor, and I was, that's fine, all right. And then she, about 2 seconds later, she goes, could you just turn off the music? And I went, absolutely. So I turn off the music. About 3 seconds later, she's like, do you realize how loud your clock is? And I was like, no, I totally feel you. But like, I had such compassion, and she felt horrible, but I just said to her, I'm like, oh, honey, I know, like, I get it. I'll break the clock.
But it's that thing, isn't it, where it's like before we would have just sort of lived with it a little bit, but it becomes irrational. You have to sort of, you act on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
My husband drinking tea.
It's like if you sit on the
breathing.
sofa.
Breathing. What are you doing? Breathing next to me.
And sneezing. What is with the sneezing? It's gotten so loud.
Eating.
So how do you react now? I mean, do you just tell him to stop drinking?
I was like, God, you have to sound like that.
Yeah.
And I remember ringing my friend, and she went, bloody hell, Jane. And I was just like, no, seriously. And she went, go to my menopause specialist. And I went there, and it was, even though they were a menopause specialist, it was very, just, you know, do some squirts. And then, honestly, it got to be just put a bit more and I just felt it was a bit sort of slap happy, do you know what I mean? And honestly, it was one of those things where I was on the estrogen gel and the is it ultragesterone?
Ultragesterone.
And it was like I was pregnant again. It was a sort of thing. And you know, it was just, it made me feel worse. It felt so all over the place. I just didn't.
Because it's so arbitrary.
Yeah, exactly.
I went to a specialist male who said, are you sure this isn't in your head? Like, so there was a lot of that until I got...
Did you then want to get out of the knife?
You have no idea.
I had that with a female doctor. So I called my GP and I was like, look, you know, I've got all these symptoms. I'm full of rage. I've got loads of anxiety. I'm not sleeping. I think I'm going mad. Could it be like not early menopause, but, you know, menopause, whatever. And she said it was sort of similar. Oh, I think you're probably just quite stressed. You're too young to be going into the menopause. I was 47. That's not too young. And it was,
That's not
she
even
was
young.
I know. But she was like so dismissive and sort of made me question myself and go, oh, maybe I've got it all wrong. But I had to really push for it. And I said, well, can I have a blood test? And I know like there's sort of blood tests aren't always kind of like absolutely, you've got to get them at the right time, whatever. But I was a bit like, can I at least try and have a blood test and see? And then when they came back, she had to eat humble pie and was like, oh, yeah, you're really in the thick of it. It's like, no shit.
I think it's a real postcode lottery with regards to the doctors, though, isn't it? Because I had no conversations with anybody. Didn't really have that many women in my family. Didn't have one conversation with anyone about it. So it was just like, it's kind of like something that happens, but God knows what's going to happen. And then when I went to the doctors, I just felt it was one size fits all. Well, take some of that, see how you get on. Which wasn't good.
No.
without as bespoke, a little bit more care, and kind of like now you hear about people taking testosterone or needing a bit of this because, that kind of like a bit more personalised, tailor-made approach to symptoms. But I guess the NHS hasn't really got that funding to be able to cope with that.
That was definitely my experience at the GP was
slap some pictures on you.
HRT, have the gel, have the tablet, that's it, you're good to go.
Yeah.
No review.
No.
Yeah. Still haven't had a review. I've
But
been
it's-
on it for 8 years.
Yeah, it just felt like that. And I read an interesting stat the other day. There is one specialist for every 33,000 women in the UK.
Oh, no.
Really?
As you said, it's like the postcode
Yeah,
lottery.
yeah. Right now, literally right now, 13 million women in this country are going through perimenopause or menopause. Right? 13, and it's 1 billion worldwide. And it's just like, I think the thing that gets me is we're all guessing. We were just all guessing. I think that's what ultimately I just find.
But it feels as if a lot of the medical profession are guessing.
Yeah,
as well. So in our
absolutely.
experience of going to
Yeah.
the GP.
Well, interesting. I read a stat the other day, and it was done a few years ago, but in the UK, and it said, this is like 2 years ago, 1 in 3 women still feel embarrassed talking about the menopause.
Wow.
And you think, isn't that sad?
30%.
Isn't that sad? Feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
Feeling judged and over the hill. That you feel whether at work you're going to be judged or, even I've had people sort of say to me, they didn't know if they would be, if their husbands or partners would make them, would feel attracted to them anymore. I don't know whether your mums talked about it. My mum never talked about menopause. No. It was a thing. It was never spoken about. They just got on with it. And I think
my mum might have mentioned like a hot flush once in a while or whatever.
Yeah. See, I was.
Didn't.
Yeah, mine. And isn't it interesting that they just, they've always got on
I think
with
there was
it.
a bit of a generation of stiff upper lip, though,
Yeah.
wasn't it? It's
But
just so
also
you put
it
up
was-
with it and you don't.
It wasn't just
ask for
that. It was
anything.
kind of a bit shameful.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of seen as a bit.
I
Yeah.
think
Well,
the
you're
shame
over
about
the,
it,
you're
yeah.
over the
Yeah.
edge now. You might as well kind of. In Sweden, they actually had you went to a place to push people off when they got old, and it was a
like
bit
in
like
Midsummer.
yeah.
One of the things as well, it's lack of education with blokes.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
my current partner, so I've been with him for 10 years. And he wasn't with anybody, I think, during the menopause phase. But now he's with me, and it's kind of like he had absolutely no clue what the menopause really is. And when I told him about my achy hips, it's like, it's because in the Western society we sit too much on chairs, and you need to open your hips up, like in yoga, and stretch. And I'm like, no, it's absolutely nothing to do with that. And then of course I'm getting annoyed with him because it's like, typical bloke. You have no idea what it is. You know,
It's one of those where you want them to be understanding, but you don't want to have to explain yourself.
Yeah, or them to give you advice.
I don't want an
like,
answer.
when they're
Yeah,
not
I
doing
just
it.
would like to have a small moan.
Just absorb the moan for me.
And get a bunch of flowers and some sympathy, and go, sorry.
And I remember saying to my husband, because he's sweet, for all his lack of EQ, he is about the try. So he will go and like Google things and be like, it says that you're on your, and I'm like, oh, he's very sweet. But I was saying to him that some days it feels like my accelerator's stuck.
Yeah.
And it's literally like there's a 80-pound stone on the accelerator. And and what I realized was that, and I bet you this will resonate with this table, is that I almost found that I had to zen myself into never getting angry, because when I got angry, the accelerator wouldn't, it was too much for my body.
Well, I've never managed to not get into the rage. I haven't
You fully embrace it.
never found the Zen moment.
Well, I'm not saying I'm always good at it.
I've always been quite an anxious person anyway, so the anxiety thing was huge for me, but the rage was equal to that. And it was just, my poor kids.
I know.
I feel so bad because actually the way I behaved has probably sculpted them as people.
No, but I think that no, not about your kids.
Definitely.
I do think about
That's
your
God.
kids.
If they go to therapy, that will definitely come out.
That's what I
in my
always say to
case.
them.
to my house.
She's in a mood
therapy.
again. I always say, well, I need to give you something to talk to your
Yes.
counsellor about in 20 years' time.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember the turning point. My son one day sent me a text that almost broke me. I was having a week where it was happening a lot. And he said, I just feel at the moment you're explosive and you're like a bomb and I don't know when you're going to go off. I cried for like 3 days.
Yeah.
I was so, and of course I was so offended, and yet I was so not offended.
It's so upsetting that.
I was just, and then you make those pledges to yourself. Where you're like, I'm going to be like a quiet church mouse for 30 days. And it really, like emotionally, I think that is what really strikes you, is that, you know, you can't, you don't feel like you can help it.
Yeah. I think that's the
days.
thing, isn't it? It's like, I know we spoke about it, it's like the just feeling out of control.
Lack of control, yeah. And that's a really scary place to be.
It is.
Yeah.
Especially when we have, as we said earlier, kind of got to a place where we feel much more in control and kind of good about ourselves, and then to kind of
Like
have
take a
that
step backwards, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I do think that's a conversation I have with my girlfriends a lot, in the sense that I say that to my husband and son. I have one son as well. And I am the calmest, most reasonable, rational for 28 days. But if you push me for those 28 days, on the 29th day, meet the fire dragon.
Yeah.
And there was a point where I literally sat them both down and I said, you are in the boat with me now.
Yeah.
I'm in your boat with your puberty, and maybe you'll have a midlife soon. I don't know. But this is the boat I'm in.
Yeah.
You two are with me. So how about when I'm telling you calmly and sweetly and reasonably for 28 days, show up.
Yeah.
You know, don't wait till the 29th day to go take a bath or whatever it is. Because I also think that there's got to be some responsibility for, these are changes. I live with you two.
Yeah.
Where's the support?
That seems very rational of you to have that conversation.
I wish I'd done the same.
But no, I do remember I think what helped my family is just me to be able, so I think once I realised I wasn't going mad, and I was like,
But
I'm in
that's a real thing,
perimenopause.
isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
thank God, it's that thing that's happening. And now I'm sort of becoming more aware of my cycle and like when it would rise and when it would fall. Sometimes it was a bit random, but you know, you can understand your own rhythm a little bit more. And then I would be able to say to them, I'm having a really bad day. My hormones are off the chart. I'm really sorry. And then for my partner, that just meant he was able to go, okay, so you don't just hate on me.
Do you know what? I think you're right. And I think that we now have, and we're sort of, you know, in our 50s, and we've said, and we all feel more empowered a bit here. Okay. Right, listen, I think that what it would be useful to wrap this side up if we could just get an idea of what, from all the physical stuff you've been experiencing, what's worked. What would you say is the thing from a physical that you have done to help yourself?
I would say two things. HRT, sorry to say, but for me it really worked. And once I got the dosage right, movement.
What kind of movement?
I run.
She's a marathon runner, everybody.
Only half marathon.
Only half. Oh.
That's good.
That's good.
Try harder.
I haven't done one for a couple of years though, but yes.
Nice.
But movement in general, I would say, has helped.
What about you, Vix?
I've got to say HRT, big fan here. I mean, it was that thing that like stopped me from when I was on the precipice. I feel like I was literally stood on a precipice all the time, and it took me away from that precipice and allowed me just to be on a bit more of an even keel. It's not fully even. No. It's not a silver bullet. No. But it's definitely.
And what do you take? Patches or all the different individual?
I was doing the gel. Now I'm on a patch.
I'm loving it.
Doing the gel. We all know, the gel on the thighs. I'm now back on the patch. But I basically had to stop running because I've got an arthritic ankle. So that was really frustrating. But I've taken up distance swimming, which outdoors. Like you love all that, don't you? You love a cold pond, don't you?
Yeah,
I do, but I'm not a dipper. I like to get in and properly swim. So I like a wetsuit.
Wild swim.
I'm not
except we know when there's snakes in the water.
If there's a snake in the water,
there was on a girls' holiday.
Snakes in
this
the water.
idyllic place, and then there was a snake, and I lost.
You challenged Usain Bolt with the speed at which you got out.
I've never seen Vic move so fast in my life.
Yeah. But I second movement. Yes. And just keeping. I do a lot of yoga and swimming and cycling and non-impact stuff.
I think what's helped me is being okay with the days where I can't be the whirling dervish, go to the gym, lift weights, run, do all these things. leaning into that and saying, today's a dog walk day, or
Yeah.
today's a forest day, and allowing I struggle with stillness,
Yeah.
full stop.
Yeah.
But
I do.
I think that's what's helped me.
No, definitely. And what about you, Rach? What?
Well, I definitely think switching from patches and having a Marina coil, and that had a positive effect on the periods that I was having. So I have a lot less kind of PMT type symptoms.
Yeah.
My main thing for physical is
It's sex.
I was like waiting for that.
catch
I was waiting.
categorical state. Yeah, actually, I've got to go now. No, my anti-bloating tablets.
Well, and we want to hear more about that. You are the person that literally puts on every WhatsApp. Ooh, try this.
Yeah, try this.
that.
If you've got a rock solid stomach and you can't fart, come to me and I'll give you the pill for it. It's been a complete game changer. I've spent the last at least 5 years in daily discomfort, just feeling like just solid all around the abdomen.
You talked about that a lot,
Awful.
yeah.
No matter
Well,
if I've eaten, if I
out,
haven't
didn't we, a
eaten.
few weeks ago, and you were like, I can't drink anymore.
Yeah.
But,
Just can't, whether I drink something fizzy or flat, or even if I just get up in the morning and have water, if that's how it feels.
Yeah.
But these tablets have completely transformed it
You brought them,
in
haven't you?
Put them in the thread.
unembarrassing way.
Yeah, you brought them, haven't you?
I brought them.
Yeah. Okay, so we've talked about what's working for us, which I think is, it's nice to know that we've sort of all got to that place. I'm not a HRT person; it didn't suit me, so it's been a little bit of a struggle landing it. And in terms of what's worked for me, it is absolutely exercise. But I think that the anger for me has turned into more defiance about sorting it out, just absolutely sorting it out. I just want to sort it out because I don't want anyone else to have this. It's I don't like not having the answers. And so I think, the knowledge. And so the exercise for me, I've thrown myself into it because it's just like, and I'm not in a comfy place yet. And I think where I'm at now, now I know how it all works a bit more. It's not about pound it. It's about making informed, it's about having more information about what works and everything like that. So thank you, everybody.